Hey, this is Commander Cookout Podcast, episode 287. I'm Brando. I'm here with Ryan. Today we're going to do Not That Ninja Deck. Now hit our theme song! Hey, Ryan. We're back for yet another whirlwind adventure. How you doing?
Good. What is going down?
Whole ton is going down. It's a beautiful day in the nation. We got some people to thank, some stories to tell, a brand new, not even legal deck to do. But before we get to any of that stuff, we have to thank our official business daddies, FusionGamingOnline.com. Your source for all your gaming needs.
Oh, yeah, very much so. Yeah.
I knew there was more I was going to say there. Than I did.
And yes to all of that.
Okay.
I got my order that I was waiting on.
Oh, shit.
Oh, baby.
Is there a dark misprint Visions Griffin Canyon in there?
No. Something 98% is good, though.
Foil crabs.
Not foil crabs. Not that good.
Oh.
Foil Twilight's Call from Invasion.
Ooh,
yeah. Straight into Lord of Tressorhorn.
That's pretty fun.
Getting pretty pimped. There's not very many things in there that need to be foiled at this point.
Just that anger, hey?
That anger, yeah. Gotta get that Judgment Anger for $87. If I do, you know that I'll be using CCO Fusion 5 promo code to save 5% off of that $87.
You can save 5% off cards you're going to buy anyway, be it high-end bling or just stuff you need to fill out decks.
Yeah, probably what'll happen is if there's events in 2022 and I see a foil anger, I'll just take just a mitt of cards from my trade box at an event and say, just take cards until I can get that anger. That's probably what I'll do. You know how it works at events, hey?
Yeah, I suppose so.
You got to get your trade equity, like the most mileage. You go to a couple different vendors that all have the card you want. This one's got it for 85. This one's got it for 82. But this one that has it for 87 will give me the most trade-in bang for my buck.
I never bring trades to events because it's too heavy.
Yeah, I'll bring usually just like one deck box of relatively good stuff. Like I got an extra mana drain. I've got a couple extra Stoneforge Mystics from when we played Legacy and stuff, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We should mention that if you wanted to trade cards to Fusion, they do buy cards too. I guess that's a nice thing for us to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could do that.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. People to thank, stories to tell.
Yes.
We've got to do all those things, but before we do, I already forget how to say his name.
Oh, hell. This name is insane.
Satoru Umezawa.
So,
I want to flip-flop that O and that U, and I want to call him Saturo, but he's Satoru.
Satoru Umezawa, descendant of Umezawa that had the Jeet.
All the other Umezawas, even back from Legends Day.
Sure.
Yeah, there was one in Legends.
Yeah, nobody cares about him, though.
Yeah, I know.
Nobody gives a shit about that guy.
Like reserve list stuff.
Yeah, and he's terrible.
Yeah, well, give this one a read, because it's actually good.
Yeah, he's a 2/4 human ninja for black, blue, 1. Whenever you activate a ninjutsu ability, look at the top 3 cards of your library.
Just plowed right through it.
Ninjutsu ability, look at the top 3 cards of your library, put one of them into your hand and the rest in the bottom of your library in any order. So you look at 3, then you get to draw one of them.
That's really good.
That's exceptionally good.
Like that's minus ability on really good Narset.
Yeah.
Almost. She's top 4, but this stuff
and you have to show the people what cards you get with Narset. This is all secret and shit.
Yeah,
you can get whatever you want. That only happens once per turn, and you're thinking, "Oh, ninjutsu tribal, sweet. This is terrible." But wait, there's more. Each creature card in your hand has ninjutsu for blue black 2.
So everything in your hand, if you have an unblocked attacker, just costs 4.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. And ninjutsu's pretty tricksy, so there's probably going to be a couple little subtle nuances that we'll go through when we talk about the ninjas, if you will.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. How many ninjas are actually in this deck? 1? That's a spoiler. I think there's 1.
How many?
2. There's 2. There's 2.
We'll get there in a sec. But
yeah.
We've got some biznatch.
Sure.
Some podcast biznatch.
Sure we do.
Today's deck, courtesy of Patreon supporter over at patreon.com/CCO Podcast. Chris Mother Ass Bones.
Chris Bones.
Yeah, he's just Chris Bones on the Discord, but I'd like to call him Mother Ass Bones.
Sure.
It just rolls off my tongue so nicely. Okay, so big thanks to Chris. We got this from the preferred deck list channel on the Discord. It's one of the benefits at a certain tier.
You know what makes me happy about this deck?
That you haven't seen any other Satoru content yet, and we're the first.
This is the exact deck that I built in my head when I saw the card, when
Yep.
it was spoiled. And I feel like now that we're doing this deck, we're going to have done every Satoru Umezawa deck
Thing.
at the end of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think no ban list commander would probably have Emrakul 1.0 in this deck.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a pretty good card.
Yeah.
Emrakul's pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. So, but yeah, I think it's fine. It feels like a classic deck. We'll talk about that more when we hit the strengths and weaknesses, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Biznatch.
Biznatch.
Giveaway. Booster pack.
Booster pack giveaway.
For guessing Esau Enlightened Booty
Yeah.
from last week. Everybody
Light
got
on booty.
light on booty. Yeah, not like you and I.
Correct.
Not so light on the old booty. Got heavy dumpers.
Yes, sir. Like one of those dump trucks that they use at the mine.
Oh,
that they
yeah.
repurpose into kids' play areas in BC.
Yeah, you could repurpose them into like apartment buildings. They're so huge, hey?
Yeah.
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. I'm my butt's even bigger. I'm like a drag line. Maybe Joe will have a drag line bucket on screen so people can see how big drag lines are.
My butt's so nice I could just be in a drag line.
Oh.
Like the other kind of drag.
Yes. Yeah, cool. Cool. Okay, well, actual real name, probably. Winner. Nathan Mays.
That's definitely not a real. That is fake as heck.
Well, Nathan Mays, you get at us, commandercookout@gmail.com, and you let us know that you're you. And in that email, you tell us where your address is, and we'll send you a dirty, stinky old booster pack.
And we'll find you a Dragon's Maze pack because that's probably where you got your name from.
Oh, yeah. Even though it's spelt differently.
What's maize like corn?
Still different.
Oh,
There's many ways to spell Mays.
I hate it.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay.
Wait, so he spells his name wrong. That's how we know it's not his real name. He just made up how to spell the word maze.
I suppose. Well, if it's 2022. We can do whatever we want.
That's true.
Okay, so Nathan Mays, you send that over. You send it over. We got a couple patrons to thank.
Let's do it.
One of the benefits, the Discord. Another benefit, and just wait, just wait
air
for
quotes.
it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well, air quotes benefit
Uh-huh.
is your CCO nickname. First nickname, and I haven't told Brando this yet, so this is on the spot. Jake Lofgren.
Lofgren?
Kind of sounds like Lundgren, like Dolph Lundgren.
Oh, yeah. The
Yeah.
villain from Rocky IV?
Yes, or I think he was also a villain from Expendables.
He was also He-Man?
He was He-Man. Yes, he was in the 1989-7 adaptation of Masters of the Universe.
Yeah, it's not a very good movie, although it is fun to watch. It's one of those movies that's so bad it's good.
Yes, that's a B movie.
Correct.
That's what those are called. Jake. I want to make
Jack Lundgren.
Well, I want to make like a
It sounds like an action hero name.
I know, but
Jack Lundgren.
I want to make him like B movie Dolph Lundgren.
That's Jack Lundgren.
I guess Jack Lundgren. Yeah, we just change his name and
We just did it, yeah.
yeah, okay, Jack Lundgren. I guess you can star in the sequel of He-Man. Welcome to the nation.
He-Man 2 Hyperman.
Hyperman, yes, Hyper Jack. Ooh, don't Google that.
No.
No, you
No. No.
You get like robots or something.
Yeah, a bunch of like just weird computer parts, like random electronic gizmos.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah.
We have another patron.
Okay.
And this is the funny story that's going to cheer you up or make your day even better than you said it was on the pre-show.
Okay. All right.
So we'll go watch the pre-show for why Brando is in a good mood today.
Yeah.
This patron
Okay.
wants a Brando, like a CCO Brando altar or token or proxy. That's one of the benefits. If you don't want like stickers or if you don't want a shout out, we can send you like a Brando token or proxy or something that Brando personally draws.
Yeah, I draw them at my kitchen table with my dog while I watch B movies.
Oh, okay. Well, here's the thing. This patron wanted one.
Ooh.
He's got a Togo. Is that the right one? The guy that throws rocks?
Yeah.
Togo. And his rock tokens are WWE wrestling cards from the 90s of the fucking Rock.
That is awesome.
So he needs a CCO Brando token rock altar.
And he wants The Rock?
No, he wants you to just do whatever you do that is a rock.
Oh, I'm all over
You're
this.
just going to draw a circle. It's a rock.
This is a little arrow. Rock.
So that's what he wants. And
That's pretty fun.
The patron is Matthew Blackburn. And I want to call him Black Bum or Black Butt.
Blackburn.
Like burnt butt. Oh, yeah, burnt butt.
Blackburn.
Like
Why does
had
that
too
sound
much
so
taco
familiar?
time.
Is that the name of the evil Superman? Like they did that like alternate universe thing where Superman's a bad guy. Like he's just an asshole and he comes down and like it's Superman all the way, but he's a villain. He's a bad guy. He ends up like throwing his mom to Earth out of space and shit.
Oh.
It's like a horror movie. It's a really good show. I think that's called Blackburn too. Man, we shouldn't make fun of this guy. He'll kill us.
He might drop us from space.
He might hit us with laser eyes and shit. I don't need that happening.
Well, I'm still going to call him Black Butt.
Butt burn.
Butt burn. Yes, butt
There we
burn. That's
go.
what it was. Butt burn.
Butt burn.
Superman eats too much taco time. Or Taco Bell. What is it for you? Taco Bell, right?
Taco Bell, yeah.
Taco Bell.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Taco
more
Bell.
salt than Taco Bell. Taco time? Much better. People outside of Canada, do they know what taco time is? Do they have taco time in the States?
Yeah, they must. They have to.
They've got such better, like, they have such better Mexican food and Tex-Mex food, everything in the United States. Like, just
they don't
mom
need-
and pop shops and authentic places and stuff. They don't need a taco time. But mother ass, like, if
They
you
don't
had
need Mexican restaurants because they have like Mexican people down there that make Mexican food as opposed to here we don't really have any. So
Yeah.
we just have chains.
Yeah. But if I had to choose Taco Time or Taco Bell, what would you pick?
Taco time all the time. Oh yeah.
It's like twice as expensive, but is it twice as good?
3 times as good. It's way better.
Yeah.
On every measurable
What
level.
if you want
it's
like
better.
10 tacos for $10 though?
You can't do that at Taco Bell either. Here. In the States
Yeah,
you can.
it's like $12 here or something.
It's like 22. And I know that because
fuck off. Is it now?
I did it at WrestleMania one time. I just got the box of tacos and I just ate them all.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Man, living here fucking
Man, I ate 10 tacos
I almost
by
said
myself.
living here sucks compared to the United States, but that's all the way wrong.
Well, when it comes to buying fast food for cheap,
Oh yeah.
right?
And liquor.
Or like beachfront property and stuff in certain areas. Like, there's lots of benefits to living in the States.
Yep.
I think it's a lovely country with great
Yep.
people.
Yep.
But there are some downfalls as well. Here, also. Like last week when the air was so cold, molecular movement stopped.
Yes, it was that cold. Man, you could see ice crystals falling out of the sky because the very moisture in the air, the humidity was freezing.
Yeah. They think we're kidding, but
Yeah, you know what? I don't like it when it's that cold, but seeing frozen ice crystals
nobody likes it when it's that cold.
is actually really pretty. When you look up into the sky and it's just a blue sky with like, and it looks like it's glittering.
Oh, it's beautiful.
The
when
whole
you're-
sky looks like twilight.
when you're in the house, it's great. But when you're outside the house, it's not so great. When it burns you because it's so cold, it's the opposite of what it's supposed to do. It's so cold, it goes all the way back around.
It thinks it's first.
Yeah, exactly. Oh,
Yeah.
No.
You ever have like a wart or a lesion or something burnt off you with liquid nitrogen?
yeah, they burn it off with cold.
Yeah, that except everywhere outside.
Man, have you ever when you went to the doctor to get that? Have you ever had that done? And they have the little cup of liquid nitrogen they put on a Q-tip, and then
Yeah.
they treat your thing or whatever, right?
Yeah.
When last time I had it done, the doctor did it, and then he took the cup of liquid nitrogen, and he just went boop, and he just like threw it at the floor,
And it goes,
and it's poof,
Yeah.
and it's gone. It was the coolest thing. I was like
cool.
magic. I was so.
He's like a ninja. He's
Yeah.
like Satoru Umezawa.
Yeah.
Satoru Umezawa. Got there?
It's one of those like little things that make you really excited. And then how I know it was really cool is because I was like 30 at the time, so I know it was cool because I got really excited, right?
Yes.
So
Yes. Okay, last piece of biznatch.
okay,
Playmats?
playmats.
Ordered. Oh yeah, shirts, all the sizes and colors sent off to the maker of shirts.
Okay.
And they're collecting all of the sizes and colors for printing.
Oh, we're so close.
Yeah, so
Soon.
super
It's like the little owl in the grill of the truck. Soon.
cool. Super cool. Yeah.
Man, we have the best Kickstarter updates. And I'm gonna gush about us for a minute, and everybody that backed and supported us. We appreciate you, and we wouldn't be here without you. I backed a couple of Kickstarter projects before we launched ours.
Yeah.
And today, I literally got a 16-month ago I backed it update that was 2 paragraphs long, and the first sentence was, "This is a non-update, nothing's happening."
Ooh.
Whereas when we upped, it's like, "We've got all your stuff. Please fill out the forms. Things are getting printed." And the next one's going to be, "Things are being shipped," right? So that's really cool. I'm happy that we are able to do that, because it can get frustrating when you order something and then it takes too long to get fulfilled because of things that are happening on the earth, or because people can't spell. And that's a underhanded shot at one of the ones I backed, because they keep, we have a bunch of spelling and grammar mistakes. Well, then fucking run the talk, you asshole!
Hey, that sounded like a lot of what you should tell people to do if they're watching on YouTube.
Fucking subscribe!
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
You're watching anyway.
yeah, there you go. I almost did it, but
You're already watching.
Yeah, that's
Just
it.
do it.
That's it. Okay, so that's everything. I guess. Should we hop over to the cards, or should we talk about like ninjutsu stuff a little bit? Like, how do you want to do it?
Okay.
Here's the thing.
I'm going to give you my initial thought when I saw this card.
Okay.
I looked at it and I went, ugh, because I knew that this was going to be the deck. And personal Brando, this is a fine deck. Play it, make it, if this is your thing. But I don't like cards like this because it sets it up. This is the ninjutsu commander. Cool, there's lots of ninjutsu stuff. They're going to print some good ninjutsu cards, and then we're going to be able to make a ninjutsu deck. Neat.
Yep.
All the ninja tribal decks are going to get some love. And then it immediately in the next line of text says, nah, don't do that. Just play all the best stuff instead.
Yes.
Like, you want turn 3 Jin-Gitaxis? Of course you do. Here you go.
I'll take just for the sake of conversation,
Sure.
I'll take the other side. This is the kind of card, that last line where each creature in your hand has ninjutsu, black, blue, 2. This is the kind of card that gets maybe modern or legacy players excited to play Commander, because this is a card that you can cast for 3, and it survives a lightning bolt, and it attacks for 2 with card draw stapled on.
Not just card draw. Card selection and draw.
Selective card draw. And it allows you to play big things that you're already kind of doing. Like, I've heard this card being compared to like show and tell, but in modern.
Yeah, except
where
better because it doesn't get sacked at the end of turn.
Where it's like, I'm gonna pay 3 and do attacking with like my unblockable guy that I already have on the battlefield, that I already played in my deck because I wanted to get attack triggers. And then I'm going to play a Jin-Gitaxis, or not in our format, Grizzlebrand, not in our format, Emrakul, right? I've already heard that. And if that gets people excited to come over to play Commander, I mean, that's maybe the point of a card like this, but I guess not, but maybe that's the point of a card like this. And I think that's a good thing for a card to do, is to get people outside of the format excited to come in and say, hey, I want to do all of these things in Commander too.
Yeah. I feel like this is one of those cards that's aimed at just being a higher tier deck.
Maybe it is, yeah.
Because it's going to be really hard to, like, some decks you sit down and you're like, this is my Xur Sea Monster. Nobody's going to do Sea Monster Satoru. And if you do, you're a meme now, and that's fine. But like, if you have this in play and you attack with any creature, everybody is going to think that it is a Blightsteel Colossus, because it could be.
Yes.
And that's the kind of headspace everybody's going to be in. And that's not my thing.
I got you. One more thing before we hop over to the cards, just for sake of argument.
Okay.
Because it's not really my thing either, but I will take the other door.
Sure.
I'll go in the outdoor.
Why
don't
not?
Google that.
That's fine. Whatever floats your boat. No kink shaming in the nation.
I suppose, yeah.
Yeah, man. You do whatever you want.
The Ninja deck, the Yuriko Tiger's Shadow,
Yeah.
is already the deck that you just said.
Yeah.
Right? Of course, I'm going to put Time Stretch on top of my library because all my opponents lose that much life when I ninjutsu.
Yeah.
Of course, Draco's going to be in here.
Yeah.
Of course, Blightsteel and Darksteel are going to be in here because they're going to do 11 and 12.
Yeah.
Right? Of course. So this, am I advocating for that, and is that the deck that I want to play? No. But is Ninja's already doing that? Yes.
Yeah. Although you still have to pay 11 for that Blightsteel in the Yuriko deck.
Yes, you do, and now you don't. So,
Yeah.
I
Now you
don't know.
pay
Let's
4.
take a look at the deck. There are some, like I said, fatty boom booms.
Mhm. Yeah, we'll hop over to some cards here.
Yeah.
All right, Ryan, we should start with the ramp.
The ramp. We've got 11 cards, and we do have custom categories here, but they're intermingled with some of the big fat dudes that we were talking about.
Instead of having a fat fatties category, Bones has put the fat fatties into the sections where they belong based on what they do. And you'll see that in just a second.
Yes, yeah.
Everyone's
We'll
like,
get through the rocks first, though. Here we go.
Okay. Thran Dynamo.
It taps for 3.
Thought Vessel.
2 mana rock, important because we want to get to 4. And a 2 mana rock with a land on turn 3 will get us 4 mana on turn 2.
Yes.
Okay.
Talisman of Dominance.
Sorry, 4 mana on turn 3 is what I meant.
Yes.
Same thing, 2 mana rock.
Sol Ring.
Sol Ring does it on turn 2.
Mind Stone.
2 mana rock.
Mana Crypt.
Does it on turn 2.
Magus of the Coffers.
This is a 5-drop, but it's Cabal Coffer, so I'm willing to say, oh, my commander died 3 times. I'm just going to tap Magus of the Coffers or Cabal Coffers, which we're also playing, for 10 and cast my fat guy anyways.
Yep. Speaking of the Cabal Coffers, you could find it with your Expedition map.
Yeah, there we go.
Demir Signet.
2-drop mana rock.
Cryptgast.
That's a swamp doubler. C Magus of the Coffers.
Arcane Signet.
2 mana rock.
There we go. We've done the mana rocks.
There we go.
We have some fairly standard pieces of protection for our fat fatties and our Umezawa and our creature that we are going to swing in with to get those fatties.
Yes.
We have Swiftfoot Boots and Lightning Greaves.
Yep, those are boots that make us fast and hard to hit.
And a Nurok Stealth Suit.
Equipped creature has Shroud, equips for 1, but also blue, equip it. And you can do that at instant speed.
Yes, you can protect all your dudes when people try to kill them.
Yeah, I think that one might be a little bit underplayed, right? And I think that one is good in this deck because you can go like, well, I'll block this guy because they all have, like, everybody's got ninjutsu in your hand, right? And ninjutsu needs to be, you can only activate it when you have an unblocked creature. So
Right.
after declare blockers, if there's no blocking creature, well, I'll block this one, and I'll kill that one. Just kidding. I'll equip Nurok self-suit to it at instant speed.
It's very handy that the attachability is blue because it kind of works like a counterspell.
Yes, and
Right.
it feigns counterspell as well.
Yep.
Am I going to counter your thing, or am I going to equip my thing? Ooh.
Neat.
Yeah.
Of course, we have recursion as well.
Yep.
We have Animate Dead, Reanimate, and Phyrexian Reclamation.
Does Reclamation get you all the way into the B? Graveyard to your hand. It's an enchantment for black. You go black 1, pay 2 life, return to your hand, which is fine because then you just cast it for 4 mana off of Umezawa ninjutsu ability.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, what are the creatures we're going to use to get in? If you've played, who's the Flying Men guy?
Edric.
Edric.
Spy Master of Trest.
If you've ever played a deck like that, you're going to see some familiar faces in this section of the deck.
Also, a lot of these creatures have subtle little interactability kind of abilities. And we'll touch on those as well. I've recognized some of these from like cEDH Animar lists because the creatures cost 1 and then they do a thing that is a slight edge over other things.
Start with Triton Shore Stalker.
That just is a 1/1 unblockable.
Tormented Soul.
Can't block and is unblockable. 1/1 for 1.
Tetsuko Umezawa. Fugitive.
Creatures with power or toughness 1 can't be blocked. Ooh.
1 or less.
Oh, so I can tackle you with like an Ornithopter 0/2.
Correct.
Yeah.
Surprised that's not in here.
Huh?
Spoiler, no Ornithopter. Slitherblade.
Can't be blocked.
Siren Stormtamer.
Here's one of them. Here's one of the ones I was talking about. This is a flying 1/1. for one, which is like on rate, but also you could pay 1 and sacrifice it, counter target spell or ability that targets a creature you control.
Pretty good.
So it's like protection.
You know that it just says counter, not unless it's controller pays 1.
Yeah.
No bullshit. That's
a gooder.
Signal Pest.
Battle Cry, which means whenever this creature attacks, other attacking creature get +1/+0 until end of turn, but also can't be blocked except by creatures with flying or reach.
That should probably just be an Ornithopter, hey? You think?
Well,
because it's basically the same thing, and the battle cry is negligible because all the creatures that you're attacking with that are small aren't going to get the buff anyway. You know what I mean?
yeah, that could be an Ornithopter because Ornithopter costs 0.
0.
So, and this costs 1, and essentially its ability to be blocked is the same, except this can't block flyers.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. I could see that switch being a fine one to make.
Nether Trader.
Has Shadow, which means it can only be blocked by creatures with Shadow.
It can also only block creatures with Shadow, and it has haste.
Don't care about that blocking clause because we are never blocking.
Yes. Mistcloaked Herald.
Can't be blocked.
Goodle Lurker.
Goodle? There's a word I've never said out loud.
Gadool? Good, whatever. It's a cool picture, though. I like that. It's a salamander.
Now I don't know what to think. Is it Goodle or is it Gadool?
G Lurker.
G Lurker.
There we go.
You can draw him with like a fucking chain. Like it looks like Ali G. He can't be blocked, and he's got Mega Mother Ass Morph.
Ginger Brute.
This is an interesting one because it's a 1/1 for 1 with haste, and Ginger Brute for 1 mana. Ginger Brute can't be blocked this turn except by other creatures with haste.
Because you can't catch him.
Yeah, that's kind of clever. Hey, what's his other ability? You gain 3 life.
2 taps. He's a food.
He's a food.
Fairy Seer.
Enters the battlefield, scry 2. That's an interesting one. That's just a 1/1 flyer for 1, so it fits. And then you scry 2, which would make your commander better?
I'm assuming that it's in here because he's got an old border foil one.
Could be.
That's why I'm assuming that one's in here instead of something else. Dimir Infiltrator. This is cool.
This is can't be blocked, but also has transmute for black, blue 1, and you can activate the transmute by discarding it from your hand. It's got transmute and it's got ninjutsu.
Yeah.
And you search for a 2-drop. So you would find, I don't know, just keep an eye on 2-drops, I guess, because that's a 2-drop tutor.
Maybe you could find a Dooth the Voidwalker.
That's another guy with Shadow. A 3/2 for 2 with Shadow.
Yeah.
I don't even want to ninjutsu that guy back to my hand.
Keep reading. You won't want to ninjutsu him back to your hand at all. If a card would go into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere, you exile it instead with the Void counter on it.
Oh, yeah, Leyline of the Void
on
him.
And then you can tap and sack him, and you can play a card that was exiled with him for free.
Oh.
It's a really good card.
Yep, that's a good-ass card right there.
And the last one is Changeling Outcast.
Can't be blocked, all creature types, so it is a ninja. Yep. For 1, just black.
So now we have our Flying Men package. There's 14 essentially unblockable creatures that you're going to bounce back into your hand to get fatty fat fatties all day long.
I love a good fatty fat.
Now, do you want to talk about the interactive part of the deck where you got the fat fatties, or do you want to talk about the card advantage section of the deck where we also have fat fatties?
Let's do the card advantage section because that, I think the interaction section is, well, and maybe this one too is spiced to taste based on what fatties you currently own, because people are going to find that some of these fat fatties are fat. You need a fat wallet.
Yes, yes. We're going to start with the OG Ninja Commander. We mentioned her earlier, Yuriko the Tiger's Shadow. Just admitted to be a mistake on the internet.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, what's his name? Gavin, the Good Morning Magic guy?
Yeah.
Just admitted that Yuriko was a mistake.
Like Commander Ninjutsu was a mistake, or the ability was a mistake?
Commander Ninjutsu, the way it's worded, is a mistake.
Sorry, the what I meant was the ability on her card that is not Commander Ninjutsu, where you reveal the top?
No, the Commander Ninjutsu itself is the mistake.
Okay, so she's got Commander Ninjutsu, blue, black, right?
Yeah.
So whenever you have a creature that is unblocked, you can pay blue-black and return that creature to its owner's hand, and you put Yuriko from your hand or the command zone, that is Commander Ninjutsu, into play tapped and attacking. Generally, that is how Ninjutsu works.
Yes.
And when you do that, and she deals combat damage, you reveal the top card of your library, and then each opponent loses life equal to its CMC.
Yes.
Good
And you
in
put
this
the-
deck.
And you put your card into your hand as well.
Oh, you draw it too.
Yeah, you reveal it, put it into your hand, and everybody eats shit.
Okay, so that Fairy Seer that scries is also good for this card.
Yes.
Okay.
We have a vampiric and a demonic tutor.
Ooh, shit's getting serious, eh?
Yeah, they're tutors. Everybody knows what those do.
Yeah.
Sphinx Ambassador.
Oh, man, look at the novel of text on this. Is this from M10 or M14 or something?
This one's from M10, but I think it's originally from something else.
I don't know. I think that this is an OG. Give this one a read because I don't even remember.
5/5 flyer for blue 5.
Ooh.
Yikes.
You mean black, blue 2?
Yeah. Yes, that is exactly what I mean. Whenever Sphinx Ambassador deals combat damage to a player, search that player's library for a card, then that player names a card. If you search for a creature card that isn't the named card, you put the card into play under your control.
Oh.
So you search your opponent's library for a dude, then they have to guess what dude you found, and if they guess wrong, you get the dude.
Oh, so the chances of them guessing wrong is very high, so we get it.
Yes.
I've had that happen to me once ever. And it was an Archon. When it dies, you exile target permanent. What the hell is that card called? It's from Eventide, remember?
Archon of Vengeance?
Archon of Justice? Oh, I think that's it.
Yeah, I think that might be it.
Joe will have it on the screen,
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. Good on you, Joe.
Thanks, Joe.
Okay.
Silent Blade Oni made a liar out of me. There's 3 ninjas in the deck.
Oh.
There's 3. Silent Blade Oni.
You mean there's 3 cards with ninjutsu because we did see a changeling.
That's true. All right, fine.
This guy has ninjutsu natively, but we don't care because it's more expensive than our commander's version of ninjutsu. And when he deals combat damage to a player, look at that player's hand, right?
Yep.
And you can cast a non-land card from it without paying its mana cost.
Yes.
It's pretty good.
Yeah,
Get my own fatty boom boom from you.
that's right.
Okay.
So he's a 6/5 for 4. Rune Scarred Demon.
Oh, yeah. When he ETBs, just ETBs,
Uh-huh.
you can put him into play.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. Here's our first like ninjutsu loop a trick thing that we can do, right? Let's say we've got, because everybody in our hand has ninjutsu.
Uh-huh.
We attack.
Uh-huh.
No blocks.
Yeah,
I'll ninjutsu in Rune Scarred Demon.
right. Which lets you search your library for a card, put it into your hand.
Yes. He's still a tapped and attacking creature
That isn't blocked.
who isn't blocked.
Right.
I'll ninjutsu somebody else in and get an ability.
Yeah.
That creature into play, tapped and attacking. I'll ninjutsu in Rune Scarred Demon again and get another search. Now, you do have to have lots of mana,
Yeah.
but we are playing multiple instances of Cabal Coffers and 10 other mana producers
Yeah.
of the cEDH variety.
Yeah.
We're going to have some mana.
Yeah. So there's a thing that you can do.
That's a gooder.
That's a gooder.
That's a good one.
We have Heuristic Study. Everybody knows that. Do you
Yep.
pay the 1? Jin-Gitaxis, everybody's favorite Priador.
Oh, man, this guy's a dick.
5/4 for 10 with Flash. Now he's playing the Phyrexian one, so I'm going to see if I can say all the things that he does.
Okay.
Off of memory. He's a 5/4 for 10 with Flash. Your opponent's maximum hand size is reduced by 7, and at the end of turn, you draw 7 cards. That's the most. I think is that the most backbreaking turn 3 thing that you can do in this deck. Turn 3, turn 4
That's pretty good.
is a Jin-Gitaxis with a Lightning Greaves on it. I think that's probably the ball game. Hey.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
All right. Next up, we have It That Betrays.
Oh, yes. It That Betrays. Everybody's favorite 12 drop? No, not true. We're going to see other 12 drops. This one is good, though. Annihilator 2, 11/11. Whenever an opponent sacrifices something, we just get it. We just get it.
Yep. And it's got Annihilator 2, so it's going to
Make you sacrifice
just
shit.
perpetuate the cycle.
Yep.
Fallen Shinobi.
There's a ninja.
There's our last ninja.
There's a ninja. This has got ninjutsu for blue, black, 2.
Oh.
Hey. Okay, so we get to decide. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, that player taps... that player exiles the top card of their library and we can play it? Top 2 cards.
Yeah.
Did I get there?
Yeah. And you can play them for free.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I just get your stuff.
Yeah.
Play them for free.
And it's play, so you can get land too.
So I can get your land and I can get your mana rocks.
For free.
Well, that's going to help me cast multiple ninjutsus in a row. Or multiple ninjutsus, activate multiple ninjutsus by bouncing the guy to my hand because it's part of the cost. And then just like putting one guy in at the end. Because you can do that too.
Yeah.
Anyways.
We have Expropriate.
Ooh, that's a 9-drop. Choose extra turn or
Take a thing.
take one of your permanents.
Typically speaking, I think I've played Expropriate and not won the game immediately once. One time that's ever happened. So Expropriate's a very good card.
Do we just cast that card here? Do we cast that or is there things that let us cast it?
You just cast it. We'll have the mana to cast it.
Well, I suppose we will, yeah.
Yeah, we just cast that. Diluvian Primordial.
Oh, yeah. A 5/5 flyer for 7, which means 4 in this deck.
Yep.
When it enters the battlefield, for each mother-ass opponent, for each opponent, you may cast up to 1 instant or sorcery card from that player's graveyard without paying its mana cost. And then you exile those cards.
Yeah.
Lots of casting opponent stuff. I suppose when you're playing in a meta where all of your opponent's stuff is very powerful, like this deck would maybe not be cEDH, but would swing with the big dinks, if you will.
Yeah.
You're going to be casting very good things.
Yes.
Yes.
You're going to cast things like Constipated Sphinx.
Yes. You're gonna 4/6 flying. Get that?
Yep.
It made no sense, but everybody knows.
Yeah.
And whenever an opponent draws a card, we draw 2. And you know what else I think you're going to get? You're going to get like mana crypts, and you're going to get carpets of flowers, and you're going to get like just things that produce mana, right? That's what you're going to get.
Yeah.
And then if you don't have your commander, then you can just cast all these huge guys.
Yeah. Or you can just play your commander and get the huge guys for free.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, next up, we're going to go on to the interaction section.
Because that was the card draw and selection section, right?
The card draw selection section. I like saying that's fun to say. I like that.
Now we've got the interaction jackson. Sure.
We're gonna. I think this is one of my least favorite cards to play against. I don't know why. Personal feeling only. Agent of Treachery.
Maybe you're reminiscing from days that you played Standard, because this guy ruined Standard.
I
but
didn't
not
play
for not for you.
Yeah, not for me because I wasn't playing. But
maybe you're being a martyr for those who hate it, who do play Standard.
Maybe I'm taking the hatred upon myself. Maybe I am. What's it do, Ryan?
This is a 7-drop, 2/3, so right on curve.
Yeah.
That when it ETBs, you gain control of target permanent. You just get it.
Yeah. And if you're doing one of those ninjutsu loops, you go something else this, something else this, something else this, something else this, and you just steal every permanent that you possibly can.
Yes.
And then at the end of turn, his second ability triggers.
If you control 3 or more permanents that you don't own, right?
Yeah.
You draw 3 cards?
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. That's all right. Fine if you play it. It's not my thing. Arcane Denial.
That's a counterspell. Everybody gets to draw some cards.
Aura Thief.
That lets you steal all of the auras in the battlefield and attach them to Aura Thief?
All of the enchantments. When he dies, you gain control of all the enchantments in play.
All of the enchantments.
So I don't think you move auras around, but you control them now, which is weird.
You would get the benefits from them.
I
don't think that you care about auras.
They don't care, but you care about Smothering Tithe and Rhystic Studies and Carpets of Flowers.
Carpets of Flowers, yes.
Exploration and all that shit.
That's what you care about, yeah.
And you get them all. That's a cool card. I like that one.
The auras that I think you might see played in metas that this deck plays in are like Wild Growth and Utopia Sprawl. Those are the ones you're going to see.
And people are going to tap their land, and you're going to get 2 green.
Is that what's going to happen?
That's how that would work, yeah. When the opponent taps the land, you would get the mana from it. I think. Some of them would do that, some of them would not.
Yeah, it depends on how they're worded, maybe.
Yeah.
You might get a diplomatic immunity. I don't know if that matters. Anyways.
Baleful Beholder.
Look at this guy, hey? Look at him. 6/5 for 6.
You mean 6/5 for 4?
Also that.
Yes.
Yes. What else does he do?
This is a Forgotten Realms common. I'm happy to see this. This makes me happy. Comes into play, choose 1. You get an anti-magic cone. Each opponent sacrifices an enchantment. Or Fear Ray, where creatures you control gain menace until end of turn. So I'm assuming that's there to make your opponents
not be able to block.
Kill their enchantments. Because they're already not blocking when you put this into play, so...
Oh, yeah, I suppose. Well, you know what? If you're now attacking, let's say you did a Runescar Demon. He's in your hand now. Or he's on the battlefield now. And you attack with your Runescar Demon and they have a flying blocker. You could attack with this guy. Or you could, when this guy enters the battlefield, you could make your Runescar Demon unblockable.
Sure.
Because you can give him menace. Yeah. And if your opponent only has like 1 creature with flying. So I could see both thingies being used. And given that we've seen some other like enchantment shenaniganery. That
Maybe that's a meta call.
maybe it is. Yeah, I could see both modes being used.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, continuing on. We all knew this was going to be here. It's a Blightsteel.
Oh yes, the fattest of boom booms,
That's your turn 3, you're dead.
or the boom boomiest of fatties.
Yeah, didn't block my creature, you're dead. That's what that says on it.
That's literally just dies, kills you. That's an 11/11 trampling, infecting, indestructibling infector.
Yeah. Counterspell,
Counterspell,
Cyclonic Rift,
Cyclonic Rift,
Duplicant.
Duplicant. You don't say.
I do say.
ETBs, you exile a thing.
Yep.
He gets the power and toughness of the exiled thing, and its creature type, I think,
Yes.
but not its abilities. I always thought that was weird.
Well, it exiles the creature too. Like it's also a removal thing,
It's pretty good.
right? That's a very good card. Feed the Swarm.
Oh, you make an opponent sacrifice a enchantment?
That's the other one. Feed the Swarm is you kill an enchantment or a creature, and then you lose life equal to its cost.
Oh yeah, that's another enchantment removal spell. Hey, this is getting meta.
Yeah. Lord of the Void.
Lordius of the Voidius is a 4-drop in this deck. 7/7 for flying. 7/7 flying demon is what I mean. When it deals combat damage to a player, exile the top 7 cards of that player's library, and
You get a
put a
creature
creature
from
onto the battlefield.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Jeez. Mana Drain.
Mana Drain.
Mind Leech Mass.
Here's a card that I'm not sure we've ever played.
I love this card. I have a couple of these.
Give it a read.
And I don't play it in my decks because it's a 6/6 for black, blue 5.
Wow.
Thank you, OG Ravnica. But in this deck, remember, it only costs 4. It's a Trampler. Whenever Mind Leech Mass deals combat damage to a player, you can look at that player's hand. If you do, you may play a non-land card in it without paying its cost.
Oh, you just get it.
You just get it.
That's another I just get your thing.
Yeah, I'm just playing your stuff.
Cool.
Like that one. That's a cool card. It's got a neat art on it. I really like that
He's
card.
like a big old blob. He's a horror. Why isn't he an ooze?
Oh, if he was an ooze? Oh, he'd be in decks of mine. Shadowgrange Archfiend.
What? I don't think we've ever played this either. This is from Commander Legends. 8/4 for 7, aka 4.
Yeah.
When it enters the battlefield, right?
Yeah.
Oh, so we could ninjutsu loop this a bunch of times and get benefit?
Oh, yeah.
What does it do?
Each opponent sacrifices the creature that has the greatest power among creatures they control, and you gain life equal to the biggest big that got sacked this way.
So we could just do that a bunch of times. Our opponent sack a bunch of creatures.
Yeah.
We gain a bunch of life.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then he's got madness. If you would happen to discard him, let's say like with your Jin Kataxis,
Sure.
you go past maximum hand size, end of turn, draw 7, discard down. You could pay 4, pay 2 life.
Pay 3 and 8 life.
Oh, 8 life.
Yeah, but who cares? Because you're probably going to get it back.
Yeah, and then you just cast it.
Yeah.
And you ETB, and then people got to sack creatures, and you gain your life back.
That's right.
Okay, cool.
Shadow Spear.
Ooh, Shadow's Pair. Shadow's Pair is lifelink and trample, +1/+1.
Yep.
And makes your opponent's shit lose hexproof. And indestructible. Yeah.
Yes. Whew. Good ass card.
Yep.
Swan Song.
Swan Song.
Toxic Deluge.
That is a sweeper. You could sweep, but ninjutsu a bunch of guys back, remember. There is a sweeper trick with ninjutsu where you just like ninjutsu in response to ninjutsu again, in response, ninjutsu again, and you just put one guy back onto the battlefield. You could do that, and then you sweep one guy instead of all of your guys. But you have to have enough mana to multi-ninjutsu and then Toxic Deluge. So
Yeah.
just remember that, people.
Speaking of toxic things, we have Toxrill.
Oh, yeah, man. This guy, I don't even remember all the things he does, just that he's got blue and an activated ability at the bottom.
I really like playing Tox. I built a Toxrill deck. Asked the guy for he got built a CDH Toxrill.
Yeah.
I was like, man, can you please send me your list? And he did. And then I went through my list, and I just cut almost all the cards that were in his list and mine, so that mine was just like a powered down version of his.
Oh.
I love my deck. It's so much fun.
Hey, that's actually a good idea. That's a good exercise. So you look at the CEDH. This is what you did. You superimposed your deck and the CEDH deck above each other,
Right.
above and below. And then anywhere where text lines up, you just eliminated those cards from your deck.
Yeah.
So you're not playing any of the CEDH cards in your Toxrill deck.
Yeah.
That's a fucking good ass idea. Yeah. Man, we're going to do a show on that.
Okay. All right. Toxrill the Corrosive is a 7/7 for 7. At the beginning of each end step, each creature your opponents control get a slime counter. As long as Toxtrol's in play, those slime counters count as -1/-1 counters.
Yep.
Okay? Every time a creature an opponent controls with a slime counter on it eats shit, you get a slug.
Yeah, that shouldn't be each upkeep. That should be at the end of your, or at end step.
I'm so happy it's each upkeep. I'm so happy.
It should be at the end of your end step only.
Yeah, but it's not.
Because then you would be incentivized to just play more removal spells to target things with slime counters on them.
Yeah, as opposed to just letting them just eat your opponent's board.
Yeah.
It's so good.
That card is a little bit, and forgive the pun, or don't, it is a little bit toxic because it is the end of each end step.
But wait, Ryan, there's more.
Of course there's fucking more.
Blue-black, sack a slug, draw a card.
Slack a slug.
Yeah, slack a cug.
Ooh, don't Google that.
Dug a dard. Cug a dard. Black Toxtrol's cool. I like him. All right, Ulamog of the Infinite Gyre.
Oh, man. Is this card toxic? Is this card people... This guy's going to give you a whole lot of hurt.
Yeah, he's going to lay a beating on somebody, but...
Yeah, but in this case, we aren't casting him. Remember, we're putting him onto the battlefield with a ninjutsu activated ability.
Right.
Okay, so he is indestructible.
Right.
Annihilator 4.
Yep.
Which you would also miss because he's put onto the battlefield tapped and attacked.
So you have to annihilate next turn.
Ooh.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And if he would go into your graveyard, you...
Shuffle your graveyard into your library.
Now, that's a replacement effect, right?
Correct.
Not a triggered ability.
It is. No, it does go on the stack.
So, yes, Ulamog goes on the stack. Blightsteel is a replacement.
Yes.
Replacement is instead.
Mm-hmm.
So Blightsteel, you can't like instant speed reanimate him. He just doesn't go into your graveyard.
Yeah. Ulamog, you can.
Yes.
Yes. And the last card in the deck that is not a land, we have Void Winnower.
Ooh, a 11/9 for 9, aka 4.
Mm-hmm.
And something about separating into piles, odds and evens.
Yep. Your opponents can't cast spells with converted mana costs that are even.
Okay.
And
That counts 0 too, right?
correct.
Okay.
Your opponents can't block with creatures with even converted mana costs.
Even converted mana costs. So 0 drops, 2 drops, 4 drops. Probably is what this deck is going to be up against.
Etc. will not be blocking at any point.
Now, of note, people, Force of Will, even if you're casting it for 0, still has a CMC of 5.
Oh, yeah.
Deflecting SWAT and Fierce Guardianship, both 3. So even if you're casting them for 0, their CMC, mana value, is odd. So you can still do them. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
It stops Counterspell and it stops Mana Drain, but does not stop Swan Song or Pact of Negation or... Sorry, Force of Negation.
Yeah.
Because it does stop Pact of Negation because that has a mana cost of 0. Yeah.
Yes. That's the deck.
That's the deck.
That's the whole deck. We were afraid we weren't going to get through it because of all the novels of text, but it turns out when you're cheating a bunch of stuff, it makes it way easier.
Yeah. You know what? I want to move right into strengths and weaknesses, okay?
Do it.
This is the brand new hotness. So, I mean, you're going to see some content. You're going to see some lists. The lists over time are probably going to... Are they going to like become more pointed? Or are they going to diversify?
I think they're going to. I think they're going to homogenize.
You think?
You're going to see lots of lists that are like maybe not exactly these cards, but are going to do this exact thing. And the card pool in Artifact, Blue, Black, and Blue Black that would go in a deck like this is fairly small. So you're going to just find the best ones that just kind of go in here. Your Blightsteels, your Ulamogs, your constipated Sphinxes, all that stuff. And you're just going to kind of know what to expect because the card pool is smaller than I think people think.
I agree with you in part.
Because nobody's going to put Leviathan into play with Satoru Umezawa.
Oh, that'd be pretty cool.
They might, but they probably won't.
Sea Monster Tribal. I agree with you in part. Going back to what you did with your Toxtrol deck, I think when you overlay this deck and other future Satoru, whatever his fucking name is, Umezawa, over top each other, you're going to see Blightsteels, Jin-Gitaxias, Void Winnower, Ulamog. You're going to see those.
Yeah.
That's going to be the matching text. I think maybe the Cyclonic Rifts and the Aura Thieves and the Mana Drains and the Counterspells, those are going to be the ones that might not line up. and you might have more ninjas because it's a ninja deck. Or
Sure.
you might just say, I don't want to play 10 counter spells and enchantment removal for cEDH enchantments. I just want it to be casual.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, where the difference is going to be. Yeah. But by and large, just like Yuriko, yeah, I'm expecting there to be extra turn spells that cost 9 and 10. Yeah, I'm expecting there to be Draco, so we all take 16. Right? I am expecting those things.
Yes.
Just like I'll be expecting Ulamog and Void Winnower and Jin Kataxis when I play Umezawa decks.
Yes, I will 100%, if I see this deck, will always expect there to be Ulamog, Void Winnower, Agent of Treachery,
yeah, and you
Blight
know what?
Steel, and...
It doesn't even need to be those exact cards. It's going to be cards on that power level, I think is what we mean.
Yeah, but you're going to... I think that those ones, actually, you're going to expect to see them. Like,
Okay,
I will never believe you if you say there's not a Blight Steel in here.
Ooh.
Maybe not believe, but like I'm always going to have it in my mind. That
yes.
The goal of the deck is to go turn 3 or 4, Jin Gataxis, I win.
Here's how I think that would go. I will always assume that there's a Blightsteel unless you tell me that there isn't.
There we go.
That's what it is.
There we go, yeah.
Or if I ask you and you say yes or no, then I will know,
yeah.
right? And I'll know to expect that.
Yeah.
And I think that all of those are fine inferences to make or fine questions to ask before a game when you sit down with a Satoru Umezawa.
Yeah.
Which is, part of the Rule Zero. Anyways, strengths and weaknesses.
Yes.
We got into it. Brand new hotness, yeah. I think that this deck can actually cast some of the big stuff.
Yep.
Not just cheat it.
Yep. The way it's built, you can eventually cast all the big, stupid, dumb stuff that you're going to have.
I feel like that makes it feel like a classic EDH deck, which I very much appreciate.
Sure.
Yeah. And mostly you're going to want to cheat.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's easier.
That's the goal, yeah.
And more powerful, but you don't have to.
Correct.
So it does have some length, some play if your commander just eats shit like eight times.
Right.
Because, games are going to happen. Oh, you are playing Blightsteel? Yeah, I'm going to kill your commander.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to do it again. Yeah. I'm going to do it again. All of a sudden it costs 9.
Yeah. And granted, you could still pay for it in this deck, but...
Yeah, but then I would just rather, like, if I'm paying 9 for my commander, why am I not just paying 9 for fucking Jin Gataxis or whatever, right? And skipping a step.
Yeah.
Right? So, I don't know. Huge dudes. There's tricks. It's battle cruisery.
It's a cool deck.
Yeah.
It's a neat deck.
Moving over to the weaknesses.
Okay. We already had the conversation, I think, of what one of the major weaknesses is it's one of those decks.
Yeah.
It's
got some Rule Zero baggage.
It's going to be dealing with a very specific power level, and that power level is a little bit higher maybe than you might find with some players at the local LGS. You see lots of people, I want to build on a budget. I can't afford that. I can't do this.
Oh, hey, you're saying all the right words for me to segue right into my next weaknesses.
And lots of that stuff won't be able to hang with a deck like this because it's probably just going to be stronger than the maybe the average pet deck or the average just casual slap together binder build.
The commander's ability inherently is powerful because it allows you to cheat mana cost the way that they balance the game.
Yep.
It lets you cheat mana costs of powerful cards.
Yes.
So the commander lets you do powerful things sooner.
Yeah.
So, okay.
He's going to say it. He's going to say it.
Well, just hold on. For that reason, is it a one-trick pony? Do you feel like once you play this deck, once you see it, because the crossover on the top end of its power level is going to be similar each game, do you think it's kind of a one-trick pony? It loses its kind of luster?
For me, it is.
Yeah. Too linear, too non-diversified strategy?
I think the person that looks at this deck and thinks, I want to play it, they know what they're getting into, and they're getting into it because they enjoy that kind of play pattern.
Yep.
For me, I think it would be pretty samey. It's play giant dude win. And I know that that's what I like to do, but it's like swing with 1/1, get 7/5, repeat.
Yeah. And you know what? The higher you go up the power level of games, I guess, the closer you get to cEDH. And of course, I'm generalizing, so cEDH people don't jump down my throat. I'm generalizing. Sorry. But the higher you get up the power level of a game, I think the more refined your strategy is. Mm-hmm. And as a result, sometimes that means that you're doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And you're just protecting that same thing and stopping your opponents from doing whatever their refined way to win is, right? And this deck sort of feels like that.
Yes.
Last weakness I got here.
Tell me.
If you want to play the fatty boom boom,
there we go.
You need the fatty wallet.
Yes.
Yeah.
There are very few areas in Magic the Gathering, I would argue, that are actually pay to win at this point. Like, you can find suitable analogs for most things. But when you're playing lands decks, and when you're playing decks like this is where just paying money makes your deck better. Like, if you don't have $85 to drop on an Ulamog, and who does? Like, really? That's a lot of disposable income you may or may not have. Well, then I guess you just don't get to play Ulamog. But the other people, or somebody like us who've been playing for a million years, we just have Ulamogs.
Because I got them when it was $4.
Yeah, we can do it. But maybe new guy who's this is their first commander deck they want to try. They're going to have to just, over time, invest money. And their deck will get more powerful based on the number of dollars they spend on it.
You know what I want to see? I want to see Satoru Umezawa, Fatty Boom Boom, only can be common.
Well, I mean, you could definitely do that.
Yes.
But you'd probably a shitty deck.
Well, it won't be as good as this deck. This deck's powerful. But you know what? I think that if that's what your budget allows, that's totally fine.
Yeah, I mean, play what you're budgeted for sure. But I think that this is a deck that will get stronger based on the number of dollars that it costs.
Let's get into it then.
Okay.
This particular one, and remember, we're on Archidect. It does account for foil prices.
And our boy Bones did put in, I think, the printings / whatevers that he actually owns by the looks of things.
Which would be the foils, yeah. So we're looking at $1,863 dang old dollars. That's freedom units of dollar.
Yes.
Like
so
bald eagle money.
That's like 85 million Canadian.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Hey, you see somebody from Saskatoon won $50 million in the lottery again?
Still couldn't buy this deck.
Still couldn't.
Still couldn't afford it.
Yeah. Okay. Mana Crypt, $200.
Yep.
Ooh.
That checks out.
Yeah.
Yep.
I guess, and you don't need to answer, but CCO Nation listening, just ask yourself: do you need them? Do you want to? Do you want to buy them? You don't need them, but you can pretend and ask yourself: do you need them? Okay, so Mana Crypt, $200. Volrath Stronghold. It's a land that puts a creature on top of your library.
Yep.
For us to draw with our commander. Let me remind you.
Yes.
$110.
Boom.
Ooh. Cavern of Souls makes it so our commander, maybe we choose Ninja. I don't know. Maybe we choose Eldrazi. I don't know.
You pick Ninja.
Can't be countered.
Yep.
$90.
Yep.
Ancient Tomb. Get this. You know Ancient Tomb, $70 again?
Yeah.
Ancient Tomb.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that later today.
There's another one. Do we need it? I don't know if we need that one. We're just trying to go fast in this particular deck.
Yes.
If we're not trying to do that, well, I don't know.
Yeah, you don't really need it.
Demonic Toot. The foil one, $85. I don't know what the regular one's worth. Blightsteel, $55. And the aforementioned Ulamog.
$85.
Oldemog, I think this is, right?
Yep.
$85.
Lots.
So you put all that in, that's $700 that I just named.
Yeah.
And remember, the one was a foil Demonic Tutor, so whatever.
Yeah.
$650 then. $670.
Sure.
Right, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just, that's lots of money.
Yeah, I mean, that's not even going into, like, some of the things that are still kind of, I don't want to say overvalued, but, like, Yuriko's $35, Mana Drain $65, there's a foil Doothi Voidwalker, that's another $20.
Yeah.
There's lots of just expensive cards in this deck, and it goes back to saying, like, if you want your deck to do this exact thing, it's gonna cost you some money. You can do it without all the money, but it's not going to go as fast. You
know what? I think if you do it without the money, what that means is you lose some of the ability to go fast, which would be welcome in lower powered circles.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And you lose some of your ability to instantly end a player's game because you're losing Annihilate 4 and Annihilate 2 from 2 of the Eldrazi's. You're losing 11 Infect Trample. You're losing Jin-Gitaxias. If you cut off some of the top end kind of price tag, you're losing those 5 or 6 cards, and then you're losing some of the bottom end ramp, which I think is all perfectly fine for a little bit lower powered meta like you and I would want to play in.
Sure. Yeah.
And I think all of those things are good.
Agreed.
Good and fine. Really quick, I got one more thing.
Okay.
I got a quick instant speed card of the week.
You mean a card of the week?
Yes. And I mean cards.
Oh.
There's 2 modal double-faced cards in the land section. There's an Egadim's Awakening, and there's a Malakar Rebirth. Those are getter backers that could also be lands. That could fit into the recursion section, but they're organized into lands here.
Yes.
And I think that it's notable just to remind people that, you can probably treat those as lands early game, but if it's late game, you can cast them. And if you want to pick any of those up, you get on over FusionGamingOnline.com. CCO Fusion 5 promo code, get you 5% off.
Yep.
It's good. That's a good idea. And I wanted to mention those ones in particular because they're modal double-faced ones. We've got some top 5s coming up. We're recording them, and then throughout the months, they're going to be released. We've dropped a bunch of hints that I didn't want to segue, but modal double-faced cards, they're going to come up in a top 5 that we're doing.
Okay.
You had mentioned Ancient Tomb coming up later today in a top 5 that we're recording.
Yeah.
So just stay glued to the Commander Cookout YouTube page. We've got some good top 5s coming up. Tyler's doing an excellent job with them. They look good. And
7 out of 10, yeah.
7 out of 10 at best, I guess, because it is on the CCO channel.
That's right.
That's my final thought of the day. Do you got one?
I think I have other thoughts, but honestly, I'm not a big fan of this commander, but I am a fan of people playing what they like and having fun with it, and I think that's what Bones did, and I think that's what anybody that sees Umezawa is going to try to do. I'll bet you that this is going to show up in a bunch of weird build article series if you follow those. I'm thinking people like Lenny are probably going to try and find a way to make this not the deck that we talked about today, so shout out to him. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to any other lists that people have built with Umezawa, because it's not something that really tickles my pickle, but I know that it does that for lots of other people, and I'm interested to see where they go with a super powerful card like this. So on that note, thank you so much for being here. Big thanks to FusionGamingOnline.com. They are our official business daddies, and even though they don't follow me on Twitter, they seem like just fine people who one day we will meet in real life, and it's going to be super fun. Just like everybody out there listening to the show, we appreciate you. Thank you for being here, and we're going to be back with you on another episode of Commander Cookout Podcast. Hit our theme song!